This video is basic instruction on how to exit a client from an HMIS program. The reason could be because the client has completed the program, or the client has declined services and terminated their contact, or sometimes you just don't know. The client leaves and there's no follow-up information on where they went. After logging into ClientTrack, you will need to move to the client workspace in order to exit their current enrollment. To do so, click on the Home Workspace button here, and at the next screen you will be presented with the Home Workspace button and the Client Workspace button. Coincidentally, this client is the client we need to exit. Click here. This takes us to the client dashboard. We see that the client has an open, current Shelter Plus Care enrollment. However, that enrollment needs to be exited since the client has completed the program. To do so, from the Head of Household's dashboard, click the blue action gear next to the enrollment. You will be presented with a few options. The one we want here is Exit the Enrollment. Click this, and this will start the program exit workflow. The first question is Exit Date. This will always default to today's current date. If you are entering data today for a previous date, please enter the actual exit date. In this instance, we will keep this the current date. Next, we have to choose an exit destination and an exit reason. Here, you are presented with a variety of options. In this case, we want to show the client has left Shelter Plus Care to rent a unit without a subsidy. So, we search the list and choose under Permanent Destinations, Rental by Client, No Ongoing Housing Subsidy. The exit reason should match the destination. So here, we want to say, because the client no longer needs assistance, they have completed the program. We then want to click Save to proceed forward. Because we are doing an assessment, you see the client's situation as they enter the program and to see if there were gains made as they exited the program. This asks if they are now covered by health insurance. If nothing has changed, you may always use the default last insurance status. Or you may fill out new health insurance information. Here we're going to click the Default Last Insurance Status button. This loads that they did not have insurance prior. So we will complete this form. Here we will set all the options to No by clicking the checkbox. Then we will indicate that yes, the client has health insurance and that it is an employer-provided health insurance type. The rest of these are no, as the client has no other type of health insurance. We will click Save to proceed forward, and this will bring up on the barrier screen all the barriers that the client listed at the time of entry. We see there was substance abuse, a chronic health condition, and mental illness. As these conditions are considered indefinite, we will leave them as is. The client has not added any new barriers, such as a temporary physical disability, so we will not log that. We will confirm that the information is correct and click Save and Close to proceed forward. Next, at the Income and Sources screen, we will log any cash income the client currently has, as well as any non-cash income. This will enable us to see the progression of income as the client graduated from the program. For income from any source, we will select Yes. This will bring up a few potential options. We will select only the ones that apply. We will indicate that the client has started working and has a monthly income of $1,923 per month. Additionally, the client is receiving a pension now since they are eligible. So we will select Other Pension. We will put the type. For example, this is a J.C. Penney pension, and it is in the amount of $145 per month. This will update their total monthly income. If the client also had some type of non-cash income, I would also select Yes here. The non-cash income will appear under the Cash Income screen. You can select that by scrolling down. Here we will enter the fact that the client is receiving SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. We select this, and due to their income, it is a small amount. For training purposes, let's enter $35 per month. This keeps the cash income and the non-cash income amounts separate. We will then click Save and Close to proceed forward through the exit. At the next screen, this is their employment assessment. This asks if they are currently employed. Our client is indeed employed, so we select Yes. Because we selected Yes, it asks the type of employment. Is this full-time employment, part-time, or is it some type of seasonal, sporadic employment, including day labor employment? Here we will enter part-time employment. Next, hours worked in the last week. This is a HUD-required field, and they only want to know the number of hours worked last week. So, if the client had previously worked 30 hours per week, but there was a fire last week and the client could not work their full 30 hours because the workplace was damaged, we might only put 14. Otherwise, if the client consistently works 30 and there are no changes, just enter 30. Under employment tenure, this is asking if their part-time job is permanent, temporary, or seasonal. We will indicate that it's a permanent part-time job. Click Save to proceed forward. The next screen is the Education Assessment screen for adults. This asks if they are currently in school and working on a degree. We will indicate No. It also asks have they received some type of vocational training or apprenticeship in the past. We will say Yes. It then asks what is their highest grade completed. Note that there are a few unique options here. There is 12th grade, no diploma. There is high school diploma. There is GED in some college, as well as previous grades such as 11th or 10th grade. In this instance, we will say the client has received some college. Their attendance status, as the client is currently not in college, we will say they have dropped out. Other options might be that they were suspended or they attend school irregularly. The final portion of this adult educational assessment is what is their highest level of college? Do they have an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate, or some other graduate or professional degree or certification? In this instance, we will indicate the client has a vocational certification and an associate's degree. Click Save to proceed forward. This brings us to the final screen, which confirms that the information has been completed. Click the Finish button to push the code forward and save your exit assessment. This brings you back to the client dashboard, where you can now see they have exited from the Shelter Plus Care enrollment. That completes basic instruction on how to exit a client from an HMIS program.